Gang. This your boy Hype Fan Jers. You're tuned in to Hype Fan Eagles. Man, how y'all doing? How all the uh Hype Fan Eagles fan that's watching and everybody that been tuning in, that just been liking, subscribing, following this for since we've been doing this. So I appreciate that. Continue to follow, continue to like, continue to subscribe. Yeah, and continue having your suggestions and your comments. We appreciate your thoughts and your ideas on, just the NFL period, not just on the Eagles. Just just speaking how you feel. So we appreciate your comments and your updates and everything. But we gonna get right at it. I ain't gonna waste no time. I'm gonna just keep it all blunt and upfront. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of things going on with this Ezekiel Elliott to the Eagles, and it's really funny because I had you always hearing these little rumors and these little things that goes on, like, oh, we hearing that we supposed to get this person, get that person, or what if this person comes to the team and all that. And I don't know if all this is be true or it's just fans that just putting it out there. I don't know, but even if it is or not, I just feel like we don't need that. We don't need him. We don't need to be focused on this running back thing. We already set in that. We already set in the offense. Um, everything is good right there. Like, we don't need to be focused on like, Rashawn Penny is a real. I feel like he's a pretty good running back, and I feel like that he would do enough. He would do good if he could stay healthy. If he could stay on the field and continue to play and continue to be useful through the 23 and the 24 season. That's all I can say. If he could stay healthy, we set. And I know that's the only biggest thing I could just say on Rashawn Penny. If he could stay 100%, and if he could be in the game, like, that's it. Like, it's like you got a job, you got to show up. Yeah, your attendance got to be good to be able to keep do your job and produce numbers. Like, so I feel like I feel like our running back core that we already got with Boston Scott and Gainwell and Rashawn Penny. I feel like we pretty much is setting that and everything. And yeah, Ezekiel Elliott, don't get me wrong, he he's a good running back. I don't want to bite my tongue on it. He's a good running back. He's a good enough. Like, it's just that last season, he played. I don't know if the Cowboys wasn't utilizing him right, but he don't play. He don't play like how he used to. So he's experienced in running back. He's a hard running back. He's a bruiser. But I just don't think we just need to pay and waste that money and on him, like, because if we get him, we gonna have to spend bread. And why not just give what we give Rashawn Penny? And I believe we got somebody else that came through, but just Rashawn Penny and Gainwell and Boston Scott already, like, that's we pretty much set, because you already know that Hurts is going set the running game already off for them. And I feel like it just Rashawn Penny is a strong running back that he could get through those tackles, and he could, because I always talk about that we need a running back that could be strong, and a running back that don't need the blockers to really, per se, always block all the time. Like, we got a pretty good offensive line. They blocked real well, very well last season. They did their thing last season and they showed when we in the first game of last season, it was already known that we was gonna have a really good offensive line. But they really proved that and showed through the whole season. I mean, I would say in the first beginning they did good, but it was just like an experience of, it was a certain penalties that scared me a little bit, that they did, that was all that kept us moving back instead of moving forward. But for overall through the whole regular season and through the sorry, not the office, through the playoffs. They really show forth. And they block very well, like, but I did see some games that they had a hard time blocking. They had a hard time protecting Hurts 100% and creating lanes for the running back for Miles Sanders and Gainwell and Boston Scott to actually run. And sometimes I don't fault them. Sometimes you get those games that be like that. You can't expect your blockers to block every defense every single game of the season. Is they gonna play some team that's aggressive, that play like grown man, that really they play hungry, and and sometimes playing, not only playing aggressive, sometimes certain defensive play, like defensive coordinators, the type of plays they throw out could be aggressive and could be blitz plays, and could be right and fit for the right type of defensive players that they have. And when you got an O-line that's an offensive line that's actually have to block that type of defense, it could get tricky for them. And then also depends on the matchup. Different matchups could cause different type of games that offensive lineman that's having a hard time to block for the quarterback or the running backs. Like, so we need, I always talk that we need a running back when we have those type of games that the blockers is really having a hard time, and they can't create lanes and they can't create holes and pockets and everything for these running backs could find holes and to run through it and help them to get momentum come going on in a run game. And a lot of times, sometimes good passing plays, rely on good blocking. So sometimes if your blockers is having a hard time blocking pass plays too, it makes it hard on the running backs, because now they already know you can't pass, like, because we putting that pressure on that quarterback. We already know that you gonna run the ball. So then now they expecting runs, and now it's making it hard for the runners to get open, because they stopping the holes, and they pushing the blockers back, and now the running backs don't have no lanes, that have nowhere to run, and that makes it harder. And only type of running backs that really can actually could get through times like that and get through defense that playing aggressive is aggressive running backs. It's big backs that's run hard, because they could run through the tackles, they could run through arms, and like, not, they don't always have to have comfortable holes. They could create their own lanes. They could break tackles, and not easy for them to just a little small tackle make them fall and bring them down and hold them. No, they run hard. They getting like 5 to 6 and 7 yards each run, and they making which could be a second and long, a second and short, or a third and long. If they mix it to be a third and short, which can help a third down conversion or a fourth down conversion. So a lot of times those type of running backs really is helpful, and really, really we need, especially on the goal line, when you can punch it in, when got that running back can squeeze through, and that helps a lot in those type of games. Now, Ezekiel Elliott, he is a strong back. Ezekiel Elliott is a back that does run hard, but at the same time, he's a back that run hard, but he don't do enough of reading routes and actually being explosive, having explosive plays like how he used to. He like last season, he had 231 attempts. That's 10th place, which is not all that bad, but it's not good either. He had 876 yards, that's 22nd place. He came in that. And that's not really good. Like, only having 876 yards for 22nd place. That he wasn't really getting those yardage. Like, he averaged every run he was getting, he was mostly averaged 3.8. That's 42 in the league. Like, so that's not good. Only average 3.8 and 42 in the league. Is not good. That's not showing those numbers to me. And like he did have 12 touchdowns, which is tied for fifth place. But those 12 touchdowns mainly came from the goal line, and because how the Cowboys was really utilizing him, how the Cowboys was really utilizing Pollard and him. Pollard was more explosive, getting down the field, and they were punching in with Ezekiel Elliott because they feel like he's going to get 2 to 3 yard. Right? Because he's going to at least get 2 to 3 yard and punching in and push the defense back at least for those yards. Like, so they rely on him on the goal line to get that touchdown. And I always thought that was kind of unfair for Pollard because like he get him all the way downfield and you just feed Ezekiel Elliott. Like, that, like, why not allow him to get that touchdown and allow him, like, he deserved it. Like, he deserved to have, I feel like Pollard would have had way more touchdowns than he had that last season if they would allow him to finish his job. They'll make him do the work, and then they'll allow Ezekiel Elliott to get the easy work and get touchdowns. Like, nah, like, he got you down there, let him finish. He deserved to finish. Like, and a lot of them probably like, oh, it's a combination. They might feel like it's a combination, it's a strategy or whatever. Like, man, if it ain't broke, no fix. If he ain't give you nothing wrong that he did bad, why not? I can see if they gave it a chance. And they gave, like, what, we get on the goal line and give Pollard a chance to see if he could punch it out the goal line to finish it off. And he can't do it. He gets stopped on the goal line all the time. He's just not a goal line person. And he only good marching down the field. But when he gets to the red zone, when he gets to the goal line, he chokes. Then I understand you got to get Ezekiel Elliott stepping. But I see them give him no chance in the goal line really that much. And every time he marched them downfield, they give it to Ezekiel Elliott to score, get an easy score. And I used to thought that was unfair. He deserved to get that touchdown, and he always get you down the field. You messing up his stats that he actually earned it. Yes, he probably got yardage, but he earned those touchdowns. He deserved to get his touchdowns, and you taking away because you want to prove something with Ezekiel Elliott. You want to make him look good and make him feel because that's the reason why, I feel like dealing with the Cowboys, they how they own it, how the organization is want to put up on this image instead of putting up a game and a game plan that actually use it. You want to focus on images and not let go and want to hold on to things. This is a situation that's going on with that. Want to hold on to something that's not there. Want an image or something they're trying to prove when they need to work fine. Instead of trying to prove, they need to, like we doing. We had to actually dismantle our team to actually get where we at. We had to rebuild. We had to, the Eagles actually had to rebuild. And yes, we went downhill for rebuilding, but it happens. But it's about what you're trying to make and create for the future. And I feel like they tries to hold on. The Cowboys try to hold on too much. And that's why they don't beat. Like, you got to get what you need. You got to actually go down and actually see, okay, what differently we need to do, like what differently that we got to do to win championships, to actually win, and that's how I feel. Now, don't get me wrong, I felt like the Eagles at a certain point they dismantled the team a little bit too much, because you want to have a balance. You want to be letting go players left and right, just like with the Chip Kelly situation and everything. But even after that, when we won the Super Bowl, and then we just lost a lot of players. I know sometimes that money comes in there, and money can mess, got to pay certain people, and it's hard. So some people got to leave, but it was just a lot of that happened too much with us. Like, so we had times like that, but I could actually say this from 21 to all the way now, how we went out with Hurts and got him and everything, and how we just start rebuilding after 21 season. We actually really after 20 and 21 season, we actually really went out and how we went out and got the players, and he made a change of getting players to trust and understanding their skill set and utilizing their skill set and allowing them to do them like and that's what we have done. So, but yeah, I don't want to keep going on about it. I just want to say that yo, we pretty set on a running back. Like I think we's good. We don't need to be losing track and focus too much on what already. We don't need to be focused on, like I said, if it ain't broken, don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The offense is good. We don't need to be focused on the something that's already set. We need to be focused on something that's not set, and which is not set fully is our defensive side. Now we have brought some players back, and we have got some players. We working on it, and it's getting way better. Because for like a month or two ago, I was a little bit nervous on our defense. I'm like, if you've been following it, I've been. That's all I've been talking about is the defense. I'm like, yo, man, our defense gonna have to be ready for our schedule next year because our schedule is like we playing some teams next year. It's gonna be a different schedule. I trust in our offense, but if our defense is trash, it's gonna make our offense hard. Like so, I always spoke about that, and they actually went out and brought some players back. We spoke about Fletcher Cox and Brandon Grams, and they brought back Bradbury and Slay, and we got CD Green, and we got Justin, and we got a lot of other players that came, but I feel like with this we still need to focus on with the safety and the linebacker. Some people really feel like the safety is more important than the linebacker position, but it depends on who they get. I feel like they both is important. I'm not gonna say focus on a linebacker first. I'm not gonna say focus on safety first. We need both. I feel like both position is important. I would say I would say a little bit of the safety, probably a slight more important than the linebacker, just because you it's those long balls, those post plays and fly plays that you don't want nobody scoring deep on you. Those deep balls, you don't want nobody doing that on your team because the more deep balls they getting off, the closer they getting to the touchdown. So yeah, you want to make sure you keep everything. Defense want to make sure they keep everything in front of them to give them a chance to stop a play. If the team got to kick a field goal and score 3 points, then they got to do that. But you don't want no deep balls getting on you and they end up scoring and people and safeties is getting scorched and all that. You don't want that. So I will say safety might do have an edge on the linebacker position, but we need that linebacker position because we need the linebackers to come up, good linebackers to come up and stop run plays. Like, 'cause run plays been our whole crucial part. No, we was pretty, towards the end of last season, we was doing pretty good of stopping runs. But it just wasn't enough. So we need to get those type of dynamic, athletic linebackers that could be able to drop down and stop runs. And if it's not a run play, they can actually know how to run back upfield and stop a lot of these plays and a lot of these not so much deep balls, but balls that's like at least you know check downs. A lot of these check downs plays that these teams was doing on us. Like, it was a lot of checkdowns that I felt like our linebackers was slipping on our last season. And yeah, we need to get that under control. But I think mostly run plays, we need to get that under control. And also we need to get these quarterback runs under control. Like we struggle a little bit with a lot of quarterbacks that was athletic, that move with their feet, and we need to get that under control. And I feel like linebackers helps with that, because you're gonna have them spying, or they if they could know how to read those type of read options and all that, they could be able to stop and pick up on a lot of those run plays and a lot of those quarterbacks run. So I feel like we need that, but I do lean more into safety. Yeah, we just need to focus on our defense, man. That's what I mean. No running backs. Trusting our running backs that we already got. We went out and got some pretty good running backs. Give them a chance. Trusting them. You got them. You spend your money. You spend all that on that. So you gotta utilize it. No need to be searching or bringing Ezekiel Elliott in. And I don't think the Eagles going to do it. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't feel like they will go that route. If they end up going that route, I'll be like, wow, but I just don't think. And whatever, if that was a rumor, whoever put that out, people just probably were just thinking, oh, that's what some fans or whatever probably just want. Nah, like we don't need that. That's just gonna be a waste of time. Focus on our defense. Continue to focus on our defense. After we get what we need on our defense, and that's with the safety and the linebackers. And if you end up getting another corner, but I doubt it. You don't want to focus on that because we're pretty good with our corner with Slade and Bradbury. Like, yeah, like safety and linebackers. Safety and linebackers. That's our focus. Safeties or linebackers. Safety. That's what I want to see. A new good safeties, linebackers. After that, what come next, and you could do. You could do extra. Whatever come next. But get this defense prepared for this schedule because we're gonna be playing some teams next season. When it comes to 23 and 24, we playing some teams next season. And I know all these other fans, they ain't worried and all that want to say that. Nah, like we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared for these teams because it's not gonna be. I don't feel unless anything change going on, but yeah, we got some teams that we gonna play like, and you already know our division already is of a rival, always a tough, and we gotta show that we on top of our division once again. So our defense is gonna have to be prepared. Giants is looking pretty good. Cowboys, it's always the Cowboys. They be awesome in this regular season, but then comes in the playoff, they just don't finish it off. Like, the Reds, about to call them the Reds, is the Commanders is they looking pretty solid. This quarterback thing that they got going on. I feel like they should be I mean, like going on to the last season that they backup quarterback that stepped in for Heineken and Carson. Like he was doing pretty good before it ended. Like, so yeah, like if they get that quarterback up to position under control, they gonna be good. Like I feel like our whole division is probably gonna be really set again on top. Like because last season we everybody in our division, almost everybody in our division made it to the playoff, and I'm like, wow, it was about to be everybody. All four teams in the NFC East was about to be in the playoff, and that shows you how a turnaround our division did. And it just the Commanders with their quarterback situation choked at the end. They could have made it in, but yeah, man. Like I said, focus on focus on his defense. We don't need no more running backs. We good. We ran out and got two more good running backs. I'm sorry, forgive me. I done just slipped mind what his name was that we picked up after Rashawn Penny. But yeah, like by my knowledge, I believe he came from the Texas. Yeah, and I mean, like he's a pretty good running back too. So we went out and got pretty good running back. One is a little injury type situation, but if he stay healthy, I feel like he'll do his thing. So we setting that. No Ezekiel Elliott. I do not want to hear that. We went and got this guy. Don't need to waste no money on him. Last season it looked like he just couldn't pick up yardage and was only good in the red zone. And we don't need no running back that's only good in the red zone. We need a running back that's gonna get us downfield, no matter what defense that we play. So that's what I feel like we got, and I get our defense prepared. I'll talk. We're gonna brush more about it. Gonna have more information about it later on. Me and my boy, we gonna do another live stream. We gonna talk more about about the running back position and Ezekiel Elliott, and I'll have more on the running back that we pick up from the Texas. And yeah, like just stay tuned and give your input. If you're going to join in later on, just stay tuned. You could come in with your comments and tell us how you feel about about this Ezekiel Elliott situation, and how you feel about our defense, or what you feel we should do or not do, or just get your opinions. Come and join. We're gonna talk more about it, and it's gonna be other stuff that we're gonna talk about it. Not just this dealing with this Ezekiel Elliott. It's gonna be a whole more other stuff. Just stay tuned. Continue watching. Give your opinions on how you felt about this rumor going on about the Ezekiel Elliott and the Eagles, and comment. We'll get back to you, tell you how we feel and our ideas of what how you feel. So that's just what it is, man. But yeah, man, thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and following. Just continue. We appreciate it. And yeah, that's what it is. Like, this your boy Hyphen Jers. Thank you for tuning in to Hyphen Eagle. And I'm get back at y'all. I'm out. Bird gang. Shit.